When I first started playing D&D, we began on 4th edition, which some of you might have heard of if you happened to be walking past a game store and saw people running out of the building saying its name with a few swear words years ago. That was how we found another D&D player. One of my friends had the Dungeon Master Guide and was reading it at work when one of his coworkers said, "What the fuck are you doing reading that trash?" Note, the opinions of this character do not represent all the opinions of the Puffin Forest staff. This person is just talking out of their ass. We respect all editions of Dungeons & Dragons. Please do not try to murder us in our sleep. We have family. That first session we made characters. And made characters. And made characters. None of us had played before, and we only had one copy of the Player's Handbook. It took a long time. Now you might be asking, why didn't we just use pre-generated characters? Well, we had been watching videos online, and we had heard that you weren't supposed to do that. After all the fun of D&D is making your own, and pre-gens were for noobs who didn't know what they were doing. Unlike us. So we got to sit down and crunch numbers. Fun! We spent 4 hours just working on one person's character. I got so sick of flipping through the powers and figuring out what numbers went to what thing that I ended up just picking 2 powers for my cleric at random. I was supposed to take Cure Light Wounds and Righteous Brand, but instead I took Hypnotism and a high-level Conjuration spell, which opened a portal to an extra-dimensional Eldritch Abomination summoned black tentacles to carry away my enemies into the shadowy Netherverse. Close enough. So we sit down to game. 7 players, 1 GM, Paladin, Cleric, Warlock, Wizard, Ranger, Fighter. We were a big party. We took a job from a white dragon for clearing out Malrath's dungeon. You know, the Necromancer. Remember the guy from the 4th edition Red Box starter set? Oh, of course you don't, because no one else other than us actually played that. We walked into a room and were instantly turned into chess pieces and had to play across the room in a really bizarre hybrid of chess and D&D rules. It was like combat, only you could move any pieces, and when you tried to take a piece, it was melee attack against AC. Funnily enough, every round we just moved the Paladin because he was the queen. And each other turn he was eating multiple attacks from all the enemy pieces that were trying to gangbang him. No one else moved or attacked. I spent the entire combat in real life in my kitchen making salsa and guacamole. They turned out great. Then we got attacked by these rogues, and while I was waiting for my turn, I was cooking pizzas in the kitchen. They turned out great too. So we fought our way through the whole dungeon and took care of the dreaded Necromancer. And I made some chocolate chip cookies when it wasn't my turn. They didn't turn out okay. Some of the ones on the outside got a little burned. Malrath! So we returned the severed head of the Necromancer to the white dragon who paid us for our services, and we were on our way. "You know that Necromancer is going to be coming back with a vengeance, right?" I said. "I ripped his head off of his shoulders," our fighter Zod said. "He's pretty dead." Look, this is my first fucking session of D&D, and even I, a complete idiot who ain't never played D&D, knows how this shit's going down. He's a Necromancer. Death's not really a big deal to them. More like an inconvenience.